Hi everyone, welcome you all to this new session on inverse trigonometric functions. Students or my dear friends, some people say trigonometry is a bunch of formulas, too many formulas in trigonometry, and few people they say they are not good in trigonometry. But actually, to be frank, that is actually one of the very nice subject in mathematics for you to learn. Why do I say this is mathematics is all concerned about too much of calculus, and if you have to be good in calculus, which is very useful in studying physics, because the application of calculus is too much in physics. So if you have to be comfortable with calculus, you should be comfortable with trigonometry. Okay, so if you have to be comfortable with inverse trigonometric functions, you have to be good in trigonometry also. I hope that you have a little bit of basic knowledge of trigonometry. Okay, fine. Now I'm not going to waste your time much. Today we will be solving the first exercise, that is the first exercise from this chapter, inverse trigonometric function, the exercise 2.1 problems. So before that, I would like you to know some of the basic things. Okay, first thing what I want to tell you is it's always good for you on your part to know the range and domain of the trigonometric functions first, because if you are comfortable with the range and domain of the trigonometric functions, then we define the inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so I repeat once, we define something called principal value branch in inverse trigonometric function, because if we see in trigonometric function, now the sine x, if I take the function sine, the domain of sine is the set of real numbers and the range is -1 to 1. Okay, when I say inverse of a function, generally when the domain and codomain interchanges, that is where the inverse function comes. Actually, when the inverse of sine inverse should be from -1 to +1 to the set of real numbers. But why we don't take the set of real numbers is because if we take the entire set of real numbers, the concept of 1 on 2 will not be satisfied. So in that case, we split up the entire set of real numbers into small branches. Okay, and the one main branch we consider this minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 for sine inverse. This is the principal value branch. Okay, so remember, and friends, this is a very basic question. Many times if they'll in your main exams they've asked you to directly write the domain or directly write the range of any given inverse trigonometric function for 1 marks. So if you are thorough with this functions domain and range, then you can be able to get the 1 marker question easily. Okay, because sometimes it would be a direct question to find the range and domain of the inverse trigonometric function. Okay, let's just get on. Now sine inverse of x, the domain of sine inverse x is -1 to 1 and its range is -90 to +90. Remember, pi by 2 is 90 degrees. So sine range is -90 to +90. Now cos domain is also -1 to +1. Now its range is 0 to pi. Okay, this I think you have studied the basic of this in the previous sessions. Okay, so cos inverse of x domain is -1 to 1 and range is 0 to pi. Now similarly, tan domain is the set of real numbers. Tan usually follows sine, so if you remember sine, you can easily write the range of tan also. So sine inverse of range is closed interval. Remember, there is a lot of difference between an open interval and a closed interval. So closed interval -90 to +90 is the range of sine inverse of x. Open interval -90 to +90 is the range of tan inverse of x. Okay, now cot inverse of x follows cos inverse of x. So cos inverse of x range is closed interval 0 to pi, but cot inverse of x range is 0 to pi. Now cosecant inverse x, now we know cosecant is 1 by sine, isn't it? So cosecant inverse x follows sine inverse of x. Only thing is, take the same range, domain is also the set of real numbers minus this part, that is the open interval minus 1 to 1. If you see the graph of this cosecant inverse x or any of these inverse trigonometric function, will come to know how this is defined. Okay, that is already done in the previous classes. So the domain is from the set of real numbers minus 1 to plus 1 open interval. The domain is same for both. Remember, the domain of sine inverse x and cos inverse of x is same, domain of tan and cot inverse of x is same, and domain of cosecant inverse and domain of secant inverse is same. Now coming to range part, cosecant inverse x follows sine range is minus 90 to plus 90. So take the entire range, but only thing is the in between value of minus 90 to plus 90 is 0. So that singleton 0 is removed from this, because for this value if you put 0, this function would not be defined, because 1 by 0 would be infinity. That is the case, we are just taking it out. Now similarly for secant inverse x, the range is 0 to pi, directly follows from cos, minus the in between value from 0 to pi by 2, that is 0 to pi, which is nothing but pi by 2. Okay, hope you are comfortable with this basic. It would also be wonderful on your part to just go through all the properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, the reciprocal relations, that is sin inverse of 1 by x is cosecant inverse x, or cosecant inverse 1 by x is sin inverse x. Okay, this inverse relations and negative of, this is very important relation. When you have a sin inverse of minus x and tan inverse of minus x or cos inverse of minus x, how we get how we split it up. These are just the properties which are already proved in the textbook also. So there are many set of properties for you to study. Okay, I hope you are comfortable with this. And also this is again a very important concept for you to remember for you to remember if you are doing the principal value branch questions. Okay, and along with this, the basic, very basic of trigonometry, the functions, that is the standard values of trigonometric functions. We know 0, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. Just have a picture. I have a picture set of values as a chart here, but it would always be wonderful for you to know these values by heart, because in your examinations you cannot keep this in front of you and take your examinations. Okay, friends, we are directly moving on to the exercise problems. So exercise 2.1, I think we are starting with even the worked example, and so that we would follow with exercise questions. The question which we have is, find the principal values of the following. Okay, so I have the question, sine inverse of 1 divided by root 2. I have two methods for you to find the solution of this. For the first question, I am going to do both the methods, but later on we will stick on to one simple method. Okay, I want to find the value of this. Sometimes, most of the cases, we consider this as theta or even x. Okay, so let me take sine inverse of 1 by root 2 as theta. If you bring sine inverse to that is applying sine on both sides, this sine and sine inverse gets cancels. I will get 1 divided by root 2 is nothing but, we will get sine theta. Okay, now you have to check sine whether this 1 by root 2 is a standard angle for sine. We can see here 1 by root 2 is nothing but sine 45 degrees or sine pi by 4. So this 1 by 2 can be written as sine pi by 4. This is nothing but sine theta. Okay, now if you apply sine inverse on both sides, then we get actually theta is nothing but pi by 4, isn't it? That is actually, what did you consider the theta as? Theta is actually sine inverse of 1 divided by root 2. This is nothing but pi by 4. This is the detailed procedure of finding the principal value of the given function. But because this is a one marker question, it would be easy for you to write it in a single method. You can write this in a direct step method. Now let us see how we can do that. Now consider this method, class. I have sine inverse of 1 divided by root 2. Now I am going to directly write this 1 by root 2 in terms of sine. As I told you, sine 45 degrees is nothing but 1 by root 2. So I am going to write it as sine pi by 4. Okay, now the very simple method is, you should always be thorough with this procedure. Sine inverse and sine can be cancelled. Sine inverse of sine theta becomes theta only if this theta is in the range of the inverse function. Now what is the range of sine inverse function? We know sine inverse function range is nothing but minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So we can write sine inverse of sine as theta only if theta lies in the range of that function. Okay, so please be careful. I can write cos inverse of cos as cos, and cos inverse and cos can be cancelled only if, remember, if the outside is inverse and the inside is the trigonometric function, then it can cancel only if this theta lies in the range of this function. So range of cos inverse x is 0 to pi. Remember? Okay, now we can, it's very clear that pi by 4 lies between minus 90 to plus 90. So this sine inverse and sine gets cancelled. So you can just write pi divided by 4. This is a one marker question. So this is enough for you to fetch you 1 marks. Isn't it simple? Okay, we are moving on to the next question. So in the further questions, we are going to follow the direct method. We are moving on to the next question. I have to find out the principal value of cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3. Remember, this is of the type cot inverse of minus x. Remember, cot inverse of minus x is pi minus cot inverse x. Okay, so this question, this I am going to write it as pi minus cot inverse of 1 divided by root 3. Okay, now as simple as this. Remember, you can directly find the value if it is positive. If it is negative, then you have to use the properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so this is nothing but pi minus cot inverse of, now check for what cot value is 1 by root 3, that is the standard value of 1 by root 3 for cot. So for the cot, the standard value of 1 by root 3 is pi by 3. Okay, so we know that cot 60 degrees 1 by root 3. So I will write cot pi by 3. Okay, cot inverse of cot pi by 3. So this is nothing but pi minus, as I told you, cot inverse and cot can be cancelled if it is in the range of cot. Now what is the range of cot function? Cot inverse function, sorry. The range of cot inverse function is open interval 0 to 1 pi, 0 to 180. Now 60 degrees between 0 to 180. So this gets cancelled. So I'll get pi minus pi by 3. If you take the LCM, it is 3. So it is 3 pi minus pi. So this is nothing but 2 pi by 3. Okay, so the principal value of cot inverse minus 1 by root 3 is 2 pi by 3, right? Okay. Let us consider the first question from the exercise 2.1, sine inverse of minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this is nothing but, remember, we should know all the properties of inverse trigonometric functions. So the property is sine inverse of minus x is minus of sine inverse x. Okay, so this is nothing but minus of sine inverse, it is 1 by 2. Okay, very simple. So this is nothing but minus sine inverse of, see, now we know that 1 by 2 is a standard value for sine theta, because sine 30 is 1 by 2. Here I am using flashcards, but it is always better for you to use your brains, because your brains are sharper than these flashcards. So sine 30 degrees, so sine pi by 6 is nothing but 1 by 2. Now this is nothing but, remember, sine inverse and sine will get cancelled only if it is in my range. Now the range of sine is minus 90 to plus 90. So I can cancel this. So I am just left over with minus pi by 6. Okay. So this is the principal value of this function. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question in the exercise is cos inverse of root 3 by 2. Okay. So we can directly write this. So cos inverse of, we know this is a standard value for cos. Okay. We know that cos 30 degrees root 3 by 2. We know sin 60 degrees root 3 by 2. It is same as cos 30 degree. So we can write this as cos pi by 6. Okay. As I told you, cos inverse and cos can be cancelled because this pi by 6 is in the range of cos inverse, which is 0 to pi. Remember that. So this is nothing but pi by 6. That's it. So this is the solution for this question. Now let us take the next one, which is from the exercise. So I have the next question is cosecant inverse of 2. Okay. Then in case, let me say you are not comfortable with cosecant inverse. If you are not comfortable with cosecant inverse, you can convert this into its reciprocal function, which is sine. We know the reciprocal function is nothing but sine. So this will become sine inverse of half. Okay. So this is nothing but sine inverse of, now we know that sine what value is 1 by 2? We know sine 30 degrees, that is sine pi by 6 is 1 by 2. Okay. Now sine inverse and sine can be cancelled because this is in my range. So this is nothing but, again, the principal value is pi by 6. Easy, isn't it? Well, let's consider the next question. Let us find the principal value of tan inverse of minus root 3. This is of the form tan inverse of minus x. I am again and again telling you to be careful with these parts. Tan inverse of minus x will be minus of tan inverse x. So according to this, it becomes minus tan inverse of root 3. Okay. So this is nothing but, keep this minus outside, tan inverse is kept as it is. We can see the tan what value is root 3? We know tan 60 degrees, isn't it? Tan 60 is root 3, that is, you can see here tan 60, that is pi by 3. So tan pi by 3 is my root 3. So tan inverse and tan can be cancelled because the range of tan inverse is open interval 0 to pi by 2, isn't it? Open interval 0 to, sorry, minus 90 to plus 90. So it is in my range. So minus tan and tan inverse and tan will be cancelled. You will get minus pi by 3, right? Okay. The next question is cos inverse of minus 1 by 2. So this is nothing but, remember, cos inverse of minus x is nothing but pi minus. For 3 functions we have pi minus. For the other 3 functions we have directly minus. You should be very careful. If you can remember 3 functions which have directly minus, the other 3 will be automatically pi minus. So it is pi minus cos inverse of, you will get 1 by 2. Okay. So this is nothing but pi minus, we know this 1 by 2 is nothing but sine 30. So sine 30 will be nothing but cos 60. If you want to check it out, so cos 60 degree is nothing but 1 by 2, isn't it? Cos 60 degree is 1 by 2. Okay. Now cos inverse and cos can be cancelled because this is in my range 0 to pi. So if it is cancelled, you will get pi 60 degrees is nothing but pi by 3. Okay. So finally pi minus pi by 3 is, if you take the LCM, you will get 2 pi by 3. This is the principal value. Let's consider the next question, which is very similar. I have tan inverse of minus 1. This is similar to this question. So tan inverse of minus x is, we know for tan inverse it is directly minus. So minus of tan inverse of, remember it is 1. Okay. So this is nothing but minus tan inverse of, we know tan 45 degrees is 1, isn't it? You have to know these things. These should be by heart. We know tan 45 is nothing but 1, so that is tan pi by 4. Okay, now tan inverse and tan will be cancelled because this is in my range, so this becomes minus pi by 4. So this is the principal value. Let's consider the next question. I have cot inverse of root 3. So this is nothing but cot inverse of tan 60 degrees is root 3. So definitely cot 30 degrees is root 3. 30 degrees pi by 6. Okay. Now cot inverse and cot can be cancelled because this value pi by 6 is in the range of cot inverse, which is 0 to pi. So if you can cancel cot inverse and cot, you are just left over with the principal value, which is nothing but pi by 6, right? If you consider the next question, I have secant inverse 2 by root 3. Sometimes students are not comfortable with secant inverse. So secant inverse can be written as the reciprocal of secant inverse is what? Cos inverse. So you can write it as cos inverse of root 3 by 2. Okay. So this is nothing but cos inverse of cos what value is root 3 by 2? We know sin 60 is root 3 by 2. So definitely cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So 30 degree means pi by 6. So cos inverse and cos can be cancelled because it is in my range 0 to pi closed interval. So it is left over with pi by 6. And you might be wondering, sir, this is in radian measure. If we write 30 degrees directly, do we lose marks? No. If you write 30 degrees in degree measure also, you will get the marks 1 mark. Okay. Moving on to the next question. I have cos inverse of minus 1 by root 2. Remember, cos inverse of minus x is pi minus. So cos inverse of minus 1 by root 2 is nothing but pi minus cos inverse of 1 divided by root 2. Okay. So this is nothing but pi minus cos inverse of, we know cos 45 is 1 by root 2 and sin 45 is 1 by root 2. So 45 degrees is nothing but pi by 4. So this is nothing but pi minus cos inverse and cos gets cancels. So it is pi by 4. If you take the LCM, you are going to get it as 3 pi by 4. So this is the principal value. Moving on to the next question. I have cosecant inverse of minus root 2. As I told you, if you are not comfortable with cosecant inverse, convert it into sine inverse minus 1 by root 2. This is more comfortable. Sine inverse of minus x is directly minus of sine inverse x, that is 1 divided by root 2. Okay, so this is nothing but minus sine inverse of, we know as I told you in the previous, sine 45 is of 1 by root 2 and cos 45 is also 1 by root 2. So 45 degrees is pi by 2. Sine inverse of sine can be cancelled. Remember, this is in the range of sine inverse. So the leftover is minus pi by 4, which is the principal value of the given function. Class, now consider this question, the 13th question in the exercise. If sine inverse of x is equal to y, then I have 4 options here. Remember, in your second PUC syllabus, you are not going to get the multiple choices. Okay, you have to get the answers directly. He will just ask you to find the value of y. Actually, this is the indirect way of asking the range of sine inverse x. So we know the range of sine inverse of x is, yes, Santosh, right, it is minus 90 to plus 90. Remember, it is closed interval. So if it is closed interval, then it is less than or equal to. So minus pi by 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to pi by 2 means y lies between minus 90 to plus 90. So the option for this question, that is the range of y will be nothing but minus pi by 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to pi by 2. You should as I told you, you should always be careful with the range and domain of all the 6 inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, there are more chances of getting 1 marker from this and the questions we just worked out now. Class, now consider one tricky question. Check this. Find the value of sine inverse of sine 3 pi by 5. That is also already worked example. Now I have sine inverse of sine 3 pi by 5. There are more tendency of student cancelling sine inverse and sine and writing 3 pi by 5 as the answer. Remember, this 3 pi by 5, this does not belong to the range of sine, that is minus 90 to plus 90. Okay, so there has to be some changes which we do. Okay, so sine inverse of sine, see, I am going to use this process. So if you take pi minus 2 pi by 5, okay, it is just 5, so 5 pi minus 2 pi is what? 3 pi by 5. It's just a small calculations and arrangements we are going to do here. So instead of 3 pi by 5, I am going to write pi minus 2 pi by 5. Okay, now we are going back to the trigonometry part. We are going back to trigonometry. Okay, what? Now pi minus, what is pi minus? Remember, pi minus falls in the second quadrant. Second quadrant sign is positive, and because it is pi, sign will be sign itself. This is, again I am telling you, this is first PUC trigonometry. So pi minus, sine of pi minus theta is nothing but sine theta. You should remember this. Okay, sine of pi minus theta is nothing but sine theta. So I am using this. So sine inverse of sine 2 pi by 5. Okay, now if you check it, this 2 pi by 5 is nothing but, this 2 pi by 5 is nothing but 72 degrees, which is in my range, my closed interval minus 90 to plus 90. I can cancel and write it as 2 pi by 5. Okay, so don't make a mistake of directly cancelling, because this is not in my range. Okay, we are going to see few more examples of this kind. Now consider this question, cos inverse of cos 13 pi by 6. Clearly 13 pi by 6 is not in the range of cos inverse. The range of cos inverse x is 0 to pi. Okay, so cos inverse of cos, this 13 pi by 6, I can write it as 2 pi plus pi by 6. That is 13 pi is nothing but 12 pi plus pi, isn't it? So if you divide it separately, it is 2 pi plus pi by 6. If you take the LCM and check it, 6 2s are 12 plus 1. So I am going to write this as 2 pi plus pi by 6. And we also know, yes, cos of 360 degrees plus theta is nothing but cos theta back, because 360 degree will be nullified. It is just like 0 degrees. So this is nothing but, you will get cos inverse of cos pi by 6. Now cos inverse and cos will be cancelled. I am going to get pi by 6. So this is the principal value. Another similar question of this type. So I have tan inverse of tan 7 pi by 6. Definitely 7 pi by 6 is not in the range of open interval 0 to minus 90 to plus 90, which is the range of tan inverse x. Okay, so I am going to write it as tan inverse of tan. So this 7 pi by 6 will be written as pi plus pi by 6. So these things only by practice you will come to know. Okay, pi plus pi by 6 is 7 pi by 6. Okay, so this is nothing but, now we can see here, now tan inverse of, let me keep as it is. Now this is of the form tan pi plus theta. What is tan of pi plus theta? Pi plus is nothing but third quadrant. In third quadrant tan is positive, so this is nothing but tan theta. Okay, hence we get tan inverse of tan pi by 6. Okay, so tan inverse and tan, now we can cancel because this is in my range. So I will get the principal value as pi by 6. So students, we have come to the conclusion of this session. I don't want to take more problems now, because I want you to be comfortable with the basic questions. So practice this, and come prepared for the next session, so that we would be continuing with the 3 or 4 leftover problems from the first exercise, and we are going to continue the rest of the topic. Okay, hope you have understood the concept. Okay, practice it well. So we'll meet again in the next session. Until then, take care and bye.